Welcome back everybody to Delhi, and it has been a long couple of weeks, but I'm back with Halloween spirit. I got a new little PNGTuber for Halloween. I thought it would be fun, and there's nothing really special about it, just pretty new outfit. Don't worry about it. But I also got a horror game today we gonna be playing. It's called He Watches Me, which is exactly what I be thinking whenever I see that I have a male audience on my analytics. Honestly, I can do with just a simple visual novel for today. But yeah, let's get into this game. Oh. Alright. Sounds good. Alright, let's just get into the game. He's doing it again. He's watching me. Who? So we're in a school. I can feel it. I can feel his eyes on me. The way they drag over my back like slugs, leaving a gross, slimy trail that makes me shiver in disgust. I don't know when this started. I don't even know why this started, but it's been happening more and more frequently past the few weeks. Every day I come into class with hope that today will be the day he finally casts his attention somewhere else. To the teacher, to the board, to his notes, to anything besides me. But no, it's always me. Of course it's always me. I sighed heavily. Yeah, that's gotta be annoying. But who are we talking about? Why does it have to be me? Out of everyone in our school, out of everyone in our class, why did I become the focus of his attention? I'm nothing special. I don't excel in any particular subject, and my grades are about average. I'm not into sports, and I'm not part of any clubs either, so it's not like I stand out from the crowd or anything. I have a few friends, and I get along with my classmates for the most part. Definitely not a popular kid, but not a loner either. Plus, my new kid status wasn't around any longer. This is my 3rd year here, so my time of being shiny and new was long over by now. It wouldn't make sense for that to be the reason. What's this? There's like a little button down here. I don't know, like maybe it's playing, I don't know. Thinking about that time though reminds me of the reason we moved. It was right after I entered middle school. Right after the incident. Right after my condition worsened. Oh, so we got a condition. My hand reflexively went to my chest, laying on top of my heart as I focused on its beating. Oh, you can hear it in the headphones. That's no good. Good. It's regular right now. Ah, heart palpitations type thing. Since we came here, our home life has quieted. No more loud, noisy neighbors. No more inner city smog. No more late knocks on the door. Just peace and quiet, the occasional howl here and there, and the smell of trees. Dang, where do you live? But all that peacefulness, all of that tranquility, was ruined now thanks to him. Every day I came to school was a day I dreaded. I used to look forward to it. When I was younger, I raced out of my house every morning with the anticipation of a new day thrumming in my veins. Now I only had one thing guaranteed to me about my day. He's staring. Bro, he ain't even got eyes. He is not looking. Tyler's staring. Hold on, this would be a perfect time. Are we gonna keep doing this spooky? No, okay. Tyler was this unassuming, low-profile sort of guy who sat in the back of this class with his baggy jeans and black hoodie combo on every day. Not someone I would go out on my way to talk with, not even really someone I tried to avoid either. Girl, just breathe. Your heart's going. Well, until recently when I would catch him staring at me every other day. But he wasn't even looking up. The days I didn't directly catch him, I could still feel it. Okay, yeah. His black, soulless, lifeless eyes watching me. All the time! Just watching me! I have no idea why he watches me. I have no idea what I must have done to garner his attention so intently. I have no idea. I caught myself stopping my thoughts right there as I let out a low, long, slow, and shaky breath. Breathe in, breathe out. That's what I was telling you, girl. Breathe in, breathe out. I've been saying. Okay. I need to be careful. Be mindful of my breathing. Too quickly and it may raise my pulse. And if my pulse is too high, it could prompt another episode. My hand dropped from my chest, halting its monitoring as I leaned over to open my book bag and take out my notebook. Mrs. Hemingworth just came into the room and was tapping the board with her ruler to get everyone's attention, so class was beginning. I welcomed the distraction. I wasn't necessarily thrilled about our first subject, but it gave me something to focus on other than the eyes that were glued to my back. Bro, you probably just have like a spider on your back or something. Probably not. Oh, happy music. No more sad. Okay, I sighed, leaning over my desk after putting away my pencil. That quiz took a lot out of me. I thought I was prepared for it, but I'd been so distracted lately that I couldn't really focus. Since when did quizzes feel like exams? Hey, Sarah, how do you think you did? My friend Jessica came over to me during the class break with a big smile on her face, and I could tell she must have had it easy with that quiz. I threw a rueful smile her way. I don't think I did very well, to be honest. She leaned forward with a knowing look in her eye. You didn't study again, did you? Nope. She sighed, her long blonde hair swaying from side to side as she disappointedly shook her head. You used to be better about this kind of thing. Has something been on your mind the past few weeks? Oh, if only you knew. Don't look at him. Oh, he's gone. Tyler? Is that his name? Okay. Well, he's gone, so it was no wonder I was able to relax right now. He had left the room. How'd you not see him leave? The door was over on this side. He had to walk this way. The empty seat was a sight for very sore eyes, and even though I knew he'd be gone when I turned to look, I still let out an eternal sigh of relief. As if a part of me expected him to be there when I knew he wasn't. Since when has he made me feel this nervous just being in the same room with him? We've never interacted before. I can't even remember a moment where we even greeted each other. Which honestly makes the whole thing a lot more suspicious. Again, I'm brought to the question of why me? Sarah? Jessica's hand waved in front of my face, bringing my attention back to her. Yeah? Did you hear what I said? Oh, no, sorry, what did... She gave a light sigh. I was asking if you'd like to come over this weekend. A huge grin spread across my face and I could feel the dark cloud of my paranoid thoughts dissipating already. I'd love to! She matched my grin, sitting up with a light bounce. Good! Be sure to bring your notebook. I'm gonna run equations with you until you can do calculus blindfolded. Wait, what? My surprise must have shown on my face because Jessica immediately started laughing. You really didn't hear a word I said a minute ago, did you? She placed her hand on my knee. I had suggested we study together this weekend and have a sleepover. I've got some new co-op games we can play after we hit the books. Don't worry, I'll be watching over you like your mathematical guardian angel. I smiled again, placing my hand on top of hers. Now there's a thought. Funny how the idea of Jessica watching me didn't scare me. In fact, I adored the idea. Yo, what's going on between these two? If Jessica were the one I caught staring at me all day long, every day my heart would be pounding in elation instead of fear. Hey, what's going on between these two? It's so much better to be looked at by a sweet, pretty girl than it is to be watched by some weirdo who never talks to anyone. Okay, well that's judgmental, and that's mean. But yeah, I'm sure something's up with Tyler or something, or maybe not. I don't know. You really are an angel, you know. Her thumb brushed back and forth lightly on my knuckles as she tucked some of her hair back, the movement catching my eye. Aw, come on now. Was that some redness showing her freckles, or was I seeing things? Sarah's having a panic. Okay, you get out of here, you two. I see what's going on here. She drew her hand away to stand, and I realized the other students had begun entering the room. Next class must be starting soon. I'll text you about details, okay? She made a phone sigh with her hand, shaking it aside her head before crossing the room back to her seat. I watched her for a moment and could feel my smile tugging at the corners of my lips. Oh, and there's the bruh. How'd he get back in here? We had to see him. The door is right there. Then, like a storm cloud shading out the sun, I felt the shadow of a dark gaze shroud me and steal all the warm, fuzzy feelings from inside me. Tyler must have entered the room. And just like every other day this week, his eyes settled on my back immediately. I didn't need to turn to confirm it, but I did anyway in spite of myself. I knew his head must have been up just a second ago. I felt his eyes on me so intensely, it couldn't have been my imagination. Yet there he was, with his head down at his desk, hood down to cover him up. Hiding his piercing gaze in the dark bags, shadows that made him look almost ghoulish on a daily basis. My pulse rang in my ear, mine somehow not confirming the fact that yes, he wasn't actually staring at me. Yet I was hyper-aware, refusing to believe the sight before me. What little relaxation or reprieve I had enjoyed in his absence went right out the window, and with it in my adrenaline began pumping. My mother's voice echoed in my head. Deep breaths, Sarah, you need to be the one in control. And I closed my eyes, focus on my breathing. Yeah, I feel like this is just a brain thing going on. Breathe in, breathe out. It would do no one any good if I slipped into another episode right now. I absolutely cannot allow that to happen again. No matter, not after what happened last time. Breathe in, breathe out. Yep, that's what I've been saying. Rest of my classes were lost on me as I attempted to keep my pulse and breathing under control. His eyes returned to my back almost as soon as I turned around, which made focusing on anything outside of that incredibly difficult. Okay, theory. I think there's like some type of ghostly spirit watching her or something. I don't know. I feel like it can't be Tyler. Tyler, bro, is literally just chilling there. Literally not even doing anything. Before I knew it, that final bell had rung and the day was over. Yippee! Walking home from school was lovely this time of year. Was it? Oh yeah, it's pretty nice. Got some pollen flowing in the air. You got allergies, Sarah? Because if so, you're screwed. The heat of the day had eased, making way for the cool night air. Yeah, those birds sound in pain. Autumn leaves crunched under my feet, and I took in the scent of wet grass from the rain earlier this week, letting it fill my lungs completely before letting it out. The light sound of crickets chirping and birds in the distance calmed me for a moment. I let my thoughts drift into nothingness, simply enjoying the breeze. This sounds like a nice walk, but that bird really sounds in pain. It wasn't often that I had opportunities for such peace, especially nowadays, so I reveled in it. No thoughts, head empty. Nice, nice. Honestly, by now, this was so much more preferred over how paranoid my mind has been lately. Tyler was the only person, the only thing at all that occupied my mind morning, day, and night every school day. I didn't want to be thinking about him so frequently, but I couldn't help it. After I noticed him watching me, it was like he took over my every thought. No studying, no time spent with friends, no time spent with Jessica either, just him. Girl, I mean this in the kindest way possible. Get therapy. I sighed. At least I was safe outside of school. Out here on this lonely yet lovely street surrounded by tall trees. Unless Tyler is actually up to something. Because if Tyler's actually up to something, then call the police. But if not, seek help. Please. I don't know why I'm talking to this girl as if she's real. Completely alone and totally content. Oh! He's appeared. I tensed, stopping in my tracks. No way. The words left my lips before I had the thought to stop them, and I looked around me hurriedly, turning to spot the source of this uncomfortable feeling. It was as if I were a tiny mouse out in the open and a hawk had just spotted me. I would recognize this oppressive feeling anywhere after the last few weeks. It had to be him. It felt exactly like Tyler's eyes on me. Dang it, was nowhere safe? Is he even here? I took a deep breath, trying to ease my heart as I prepared myself to look around me again. The goosebumps on my skin felt as if centipedes were crawling over me, their tiny needle-like feet pricking me down my arms. I shuddered. Breathe in. Breathe out. My eyes flitted anywhere and everywhere all at once, trying to spot him. Was he on the other side of the street? Was he just up the hill? No use. Yep, can't be him. I don't see him. But just because I couldn't see him doesn't mean he can't see me. I guess that's true. Everything had quieted as I searched for him. The calming sounds of far-off birds and crickets in the grass were gone now. Only an eerie silence remained, as if those creatures around me realized the danger that lurked somewhere in the shadows. I heard footsteps from far off clicking against the pavement, and I wasn't about to wait to confirm it was him before leaving. Yeah, girl. Just run for it. I turned, taking off towards home at a brisk pace. I couldn't run. I couldn't make it obvious I knew he was there and that he scared me. Words from some Discovery Channel special flew through my mind. Don't let a predator sense your fear. And I was his prey. I also couldn't make my already out-of-control pulse even higher, risking an episode. He's really going to take this one last safe place for me? My last refuge from his gaze? I tried to put as much distance between us as possible. I can't believe this. It's like anywhere I went, there he was. I go to the lunchroom a bit early to beat the crowd, there's Tyler. After school in the hallways, there's Tyler. Even when I tried to go out of my way to avoid places at school I thought he'd go, there's Tyler. Again. And now I can feel his eyes on me here. In the streets. They scan my body over and over again as if I were a broken barcode trying to read through my imperfections to figure out who I am. That's an interesting metaphor. What I am. A twig snapping nearby made me jump and I increased my pace. I wanted to turn around, meet his gaze, make him stop. Just stop following me. But I couldn't. I was too scared. If he was following me like this, on this street already far away from the school which led me down to where I lived, was he trying to figure out where I live? Was he following me home? I was almost running at this point, trying to put distance between me and his horribly oppressive gaze. It didn't matter to me that this pace was straining my lungs and sending my heart rate skyrocketing. I'll make it home soon. If I make it home, then I'll be safe. This mouse wasn't about to become a hawk's dinner. I'll escape that gaze. I'll outrun these claws that reach for my throat, risking to pierce through and tear me apart. Go ahead and stare, Tyler. No matter how much you watch me, no matter how long you look, you're not going to learn anything. I'm not giving you anything to work with. And I won't become your prey. So there's definitely something up with Sarah. And she knows it, so... I don't know if we should... I don't know. Sarah's a little suspicious. A week had passed since I was nearly followed home, and since then I'd asked Jessica to walk with me most of the way so that I could feel safer. It definitely helped. Sometimes I'd still feel the eyes on me, but having her with me kept my mind off of it quite well enough. But today, it finally happened. He finally made his move. Granted, I wasn't expecting his move to be like this, but I stared with wide eyes at the folded piece of paper placed on my desk before I even entered the room. Its message repeating over and over in my mind. Meet me behind the school at 4 p.m. We need to talk. Tyler. Saliva filled my mouth as if I were about to vomit. Oh, I hate that. I pressed my lips together in a thin line, trying not to let the bile rising my throat make me gag as I focused on my breathing. Ew. Yep, start your breathing, girl. It's okay. Nah. You know, this experience would be awful, though. I guarantee. He was directly asking me to meet with him. I would be a fool to actually go, right? This is obviously a trap. Breathe in. Unless this could be the perfect opportunity to make him stop. Breathe out. To finally get to the root of the problem and ask him just why he's been watching me these past few weeks. Okay. I'll go. If only to bring this to an end. Oh. There looked like there was a face in the whiteboard. Or not the whiteboard, the chalkboard. I don't know if you could see it, but... like, this kind of looks like top of the eyelids and then like a nose and like the face shape. I don't know. Just... this was excruciating. Not only was I full of nerves from the note, just from the planned meeting, but the staring hasn't let up at all. It was as if he was tearing my skin away layer by painful layer. I felt so exposed under his gaze. I just want him to stop it. Please, just stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop staring at me! Oh. I turned my head quickly, fearing and anticipating our eyes to meet, but they did not. His head was down, just like every other time I tried to catch him staring at me. Well, that's more faced towards you than it has been, so... Do you have anything on his paper? I don't know, but apparently Tyler staring is making my computer go all... It's making the fans go, so... Down. Facing his test paper as he scribbled something. Yet it still felt like his eyes were on me. I stared at him just as he had stared at me before, watching as his pencil moved with every scritch against the paper. Scritch, scritch, scritching away his calculations and conclusions. Scritch, scritch, scritch. I've never heard that word before. He picked up his eraser. Squinch, squinch, squinch. The sounds were grating to my ears, but I could only focus on them and then alone. Sarah? My heartbeat flew to my ears as I turned back to face the front of the class. Miss Hemingworth's eyes fixated on me now. I felt embarrassed all at once under her gaze, a completely different sense of uncomfortable compared to when he stared at me, and I realized now that a few of my classmates' gaze had joined her too. I brought my hand up to cover myself a bit from their scrutiny as I answered, Yes? What are you looking at? Nothing. Shook my head, ducking back down to my test paper. I need to focus on the test, not the inevitable meeting after school. This wasn't going to be easy. I'm surprised that Miss Hemingworth only gave her a little bit of trouble. I expected it to go worse. I checked my phone for the umpteenth time, reading over the instructions for the app I downloaded at lunch yet again. It was one of those apps where you keep your thumb on the screen during an interaction where you feel in danger. If your thumb leaves the screen, it waits 3 minutes before sending your location and a distress message to someone in your contacts. Ah, yes. I'd seen some advertisement about it online months ago, but I never thought I'd need to use it. Walking down this alleyway, I was made hyper aware of how narrow it was. The cafeteria back doors and dumpsters were on one side, and the fence along a line of trees lined the other. That made running away a bit difficult. There were only 2 directions to go. I've never been back here before. Why would I have been? This isn't a place that students often go to. So why did he pick here to meet up? Maybe it really was so that he could attack me. My breath caught. This would be the perfect place to get me alone. Well, that's why I downloaded this app. If something happens, Mom and Jessica will be notified. I don't want to think about if, though. I shook my head, pocketing my cell and keeping my thumb on the screen as I looked up and walked further into the alleyway. As soon as I was past one of those dumpsters, I saw him. I tried to swallow the lump in my throat, walking forward but staying nearer to the fence line. He stood, lumbering near the back cafeteria doors, and turned toward me as I stopped. Good, you actually came. I had never heard his voice before. Something about it made me jump. It was as if he wasn't used to talking. Its coarse, gravelly texture grating against my ears and making me shudder. I couldn't even utter a response, so all I did was nod. He somewhat glared at me through his hair, under his hood, and I tried to glare back through my fear. Are you gonna say anything? I swallowed thickly, opening my mouth to respond, but no sound came out. Tyler clicked his tongue at that, planting his feet and facing me fully now. I know you can talk, so say something. You came here to talk with me, right? He'd taken a half step forward, and now I suddenly realized I had already backed myself against a wall and able to put further distance between us. Take off your hood! If we're going to talk, then he should at least show his face, right? Paused for a moment, seemingly taken aback, and I tried to focus on calming my breathing. It was already getting out of control. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, well, there he is. And why he or pull? Tyler pulled his hood back, and the weight of his eyes made my chest feel like it was under compression. Like I'd suddenly been plunged into the icy cold depths of the Marianas Trench, and the pressure of 10,000 pounds was crushing down on me. Ugh. I don't think I've ever been this close to him before, let alone with him watching me. It was suffocating. I looked away immediately, closing my eyes to the unbearable I did not catch that. Are you serious right now? His voice spat at me and I could practically feel it hit me in the face. Okay, I was briefly reading the comments on this game and people seemed to like Tyler, ? So I'm curious why. Because right now he is not making a good first impression. Like acid, it burned me and I winced. Oh, look at me! Why is he okay? My eyes snapped open momentarily. He was physically pissed, his shoulder heaving with heavy breaths, and I averted my eyes to the ground. I'm not going to stand here talking to you if you're not going to look at me. You've had absolutely no issues staring at me these past few weeks. Does he think... Oh, he thinks that she's been staring at him, too. There's something like... There's a third party here. He takes another step forward. So why start now? What? What is he talking about? He's the one who's been staring at me! My eyes snapped open staring at him as he approached me with slow, purposeful steps. There it is, your relentless staring! He took another step forward, and I backed myself up against the fence. You're the one who's been following me! He stopped, brow furrowing. The heck are you talking about? Following you? Why would I be following you? How should I know? You've been following me home every day for the past week! You're lucky I haven't called the cops on you! He stared at me for a moment, glaring so hard I could practically feel his eyes piercing my skin like needles. Then, he left. The kind of derisive laugh one would give when calling out a joke. Oh, I see what you're doing now. You're trying to make me look like the bad guy here, aren't you? His hands flew up in the air, waving about bitterly. Teacher, teacher, Tyler's staring at me in class. His voice pitched up, making a mockery of my own. Mr. Policeman, Tyler's followed me home. He spat at the ground, reassuming his pointed approach towards me. What the heck is your problem? As if I don't get enough of this from everyone. You start staring at me all day long, every day, and I've done nothing to you. So what's your deal? His voice kept growing louder and louder as I backed up as far as I could go, the sharp edges of the leaves sticking out of the fence behind me, now poking into me like tiny daggers. My pulse rang in my ears and my face grew hotter and hotter. The sun must have come down to occupy my head for all the heat I was feeling, and my hands flew to my temples as I groaned with the pain. No, not now! This can't be happening now! Pain sliced through my back, tearing my flesh into ribbons. I opened my mouth to scream, but no sound came. What the My eyes trained on Tyler again, barely registering his look of horror through the intense throbbing of my body. His eyes flew open wide and he took a step back from me as the tearing and ripping sound continued. What the f is happening to your face? You want to see what's happening to my face? Here, let me just... Gonna keep that on for the rest of this. I wasn't aware of it until he said it, but the sounds were coming from me. My skin ripped apart and my bones cracked and snapped and popped as I changed form. Yeah, I knew she was not normal. She was not person. I know exactly what's happening now. The same thing that happened 3 years ago. I was in danger. He was so close to me. I need to protect myself. Oh! Oh, that's sick. Oh my god, that's sick. Yeah, it kinda does look like me, actually. Nah. Well, no more Tyler. Okay. Ah, that's so much better. My mind finally felt at peace, knowing those eyes would never land on me again. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner, honestly. This solved all my problems. I licked my lips. Surprisingly, he didn't taste bad. Mom might be a tad bit upset, though, when I tell her I'm not hungry for dinner. But that's a small price to pay for how content I now felt. All of it was right with the world now. Huh. I'm definitely gonna. Oh no! She watches me. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think there's two. I don't think there's different endings. So I wonder if you can like go back and go through his point of view, but I doubt it. Let me check out the extras though. Concept art. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, well, let's go. Okay. Concept art. He's watching me. Oh, so it's he is watching me instead of he watches me. Can I like skip? No. Okay. You're just gonna make this difficult. All right. Yeah. Jessica and Tyler's right. Yep. He's got a head down, head up, head empty. Here's Sarah. Kind of looks like she has ears, honestly, but interesting. There's no sign of her being like different, so that's interesting. A little art, the extra art. Tyler was just living. Oh no! Oh, what's this? Initial concepts drew inspiration from Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors. Oh, Sarah Monster. And then the ink drawing I did back in 2018. Huh. Sarah Monster form. So I wonder why that is though. Like, why monster? That's a sick monster though. That's a really good monster design. I'm a little bit jealous actually. Not gonna lie. That's really good. Sarah's Smile CG. I'm probably gonna put that as the thumbnail, so don't even worry about it. Characters. Jessica. Alright, Jessica is Sarah's best friend and crush. Yep, totally knew it. I mean, it was pretty obvious, but a ray of sunshine illuminating Sarah's dull world and the first person who talked to her when she moved. Wow. Is Tyler an unfortunate victim of a paranoid delusion? Huh, so the monster is like a... Is the monster like just a humanoid form of just paranoia? Because that would be kind of cool. When he finally gathers the courage to confront the strange girl who's been staring at him every day, it ends up in his death. Well, bro's dead. Yeah, he didn't really deserve that one. Our protagonist and misleading damsel in distress. Yeah. So, kind of villain. 3 years ago, her condition I don't know. Causing her to transform and consume one of the neighboring kids. In order to hide the true nature of the woman in their family, her parents decided moving across the country was the best decision. With her mother's guidance, she'd been able to keep it mostly under control with meditation. Meditation, yes. So, it runs in the family. That's pretty funny, actually. Scenes, I feel like we saw all these. There's a classroom, Evening Street. Tyler's desk empty, never used. And now he's writing. The school. Receiving doors. That's an interesting name. And then the smile. Probably gonna use that as the thumbnail, as I said. And animation. I do want to see this again, actually. This is pretty cool. Like, it's just awful, like that. Oh, look at it. Yeah, okay. And then that part's kind of cheesy, with just the zoom in, but that's okay. That is okay. I do not mind. That's a cool animation. I did watch the teaser trailer. It doesn't have a whole lot to it. And then music. So super cool game. I mean, it's as cool as like visual novels can be. I know visual novels aren't like super crazy. They just be cool story. But I do like the story that they had on this one. This is definitely very interesting. Good for Halloween. Definitely a good choice for the atmosphere. Especially with the face opening. I think that was pretty cool. And I love this type of content. I think it's just so fun. So it's gonna be a fun Halloween. I wasn't here for the majority, or yeah, about half of Halloween, but I'm here now. We're gonna play some spooky games, and this was a good start. This was a good start for spooky games. So yeah, and I will leave this game in the description. I will leave my TikTok and my commissions in the description as well. I drew this little PNGTuber all by myself, so you can get a good base. You can get a good preview of what I can do with commissions. And I will see you all next time.